It's a clunker, but it is kind of cool. It's a car that we can finally drive to the beach. And then the trunk is actually in the back.
The trunk is in the back, yeah. So that's like more normal to you.
Yeah.
But this is a good shopping car.
I know. I already said that.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's not a Porsche. My new car. It's a 2009 Honda Fit. And it doesn't run. I bet you're wondering, why did you buy that? A non-running Honda Fit. Well, I have everything I want. I need a car I can go to the beach with. So this is going to be the new beach cruiser. So this Honda Fit doesn't run. It lights up, but it doesn't crank, so it doesn't start. Bought it from a nice family that lives down the street from me. You don't want to take a $200,000 Porsche to the beach. I know, you're thinking, I thought you were going to buy a truck. And that's a big enough storage hold for whatever. It was definitely owned by a young girl because the car smells like perfume. But yeah, I'm going to do some research. I'm assuming it's, so the description was they put a new starter in it, it started up, and then it wouldn't start again, then they put a new relay in it, and that didn't fix it. So I'm going to go through all the fuses and go through the relays, and then hopefully not have to buy a starter, but if I have to buy a starter. And the car has a pretty gnarly dent on the other side. I'll have to show you. So it's got a little bit of a whoops thing with the door here, and it's missing this piece. Well, it's not missing, it's laying on the floor of my garage, so it hit something. I'm not quite sure what was hit, but grabbed that and bent that back. And not sure if the door's out of alignment or the fender, but it rubs, but it's not a big deal. A block of wood and a hammer. I bet you I could make it better. But I'm not worried about that. We're just going to get it to run. I'm sure it's a fun car to drive. Somehow, they seem very hollow inside. I don't know anything about how to operate the car. Alright, let's see if we get lucky. I'm going to pull out the fuses and get a 9-volt battery and check the relays. See if they click. Alright, so, yep, we're in a Porsche now because I needed to go to the store to buy some thin needle nose pliers so I could pull the relay out. I couldn't pull the relay out. My needle nose pliers don't open enough, and my channel locks don't fit in there, so I had to buy that. And so we're taking the Porsche down. And so this is the thought process. I pulled out the fuel pump fuse, checked it, it's good. There's another fuse I need to pull out and check, but I'm pretty sure it's good. I'm gonna check the relay, I'm pretty sure it's good, but we need to be sure. And then after that, I'm gonna need an assistant, and I'm gonna unplug the control wires that go to the starter and test those if there's voltage. And if there is, then the starter needs to come out. So then I've done my due diligence before I just pulled the starter out. It's supposed to be easy on a Honda. I think you just have to remove the oil dipstick and you can pull the starter out from the bottom. It's really a tight fit in there. I did double check that I can spin the motor, and something that was really entertaining is I could just turn the wheel of the alternator and it turned all the belts, and I was like, oh, that motor is pretty low compression, or was on a spot where there was no compression. So I was able to turn the motor, so that was kind of interesting. So it's not seized, so yay, that's a plus. Okay, so this was the relay. This is the main relay for the car, and it looks new. And it clicks. So this is good. The fuel pump fuse was good. There's another fuse I need to check, and then I need to try and maybe disconnect the starter control wire and check if voltage is going to that when this turns on. So, but this is good. That's too bad, yeah? Click, click. Can you hear it? I don't know. Next. Okay, so we're gonna try and jump start it, or jump the starter to see if the starter will kick over. Just so we can feel confident that we know that that is not part of the equation. Doesn't make much noise, but it's running. Okay, so it's the next day. I ran a jumper cable from that signal wire to the battery, and the starter spun, so then I knew the starter was good. So then I took the probe and put it into the signal wire, and then set the meter up on the glass in the windshield so I could see it, and turned the key, and there was no voltage. And then I found the starter relay for this Honda Fit, and I pulled that relay out, and I stuck the probe in there, and turned the key, no voltage in there. And that was kind of hard to do. And then my friend said, I talked to Frank about this, and Frank's like, just leave the key on and then go back out and jump the starter, see if it starts. And I was like, okay. Did that, and it started. As you saw, I got it running, but I didn't film that because I consulted. And then, so now, I went and bought a new ignition. So I'm pretty sure that the switch part of the ignition, not the lock part, is bad. So I don't know how it operates, but I know it's a switch. And so now it all makes sense, because why would the car have new relays? Why would the car have a new starter? And so maybe the switch on the thing has gone bad, and therefore it's not sending signal to the relay, and therefore it's not sending signal to the starter. So I have no idea how to do this. We'll see if this swaps out. Okay, so I put the little beauty plates back on. I got the key. Okay, and nothing. Oh my god, am I gonna have to hotwire this bitch? I could run the wire. There's gotta be a fuse that I'm missing. God damn it. No wonder I drove this person crazy. Holly jolly Christmas, and the kiss you didn't hear. Oh my god, holly jolly Christmas. Dude, it was stupid. I lost 8 hours of my life. So I bought this Honda for $1,200. The people were super excited to sell it. They paid to have it delivered to my house. I had to go through every fuse, and they were all good. Went through every relay, they were all good. But what was bad, and I was able to jump start the car with a wire. What was bad is when they replaced the fuse, no, the relay, they damaged the female pins on the fuse box. So I have it hot wired with a paper clip. And so now it turns off and turns back on again. So I'm super stoked. I'll have to keep a stash of paper clips in the car in case I lose that one. Oh my god, Honda Fit. Supposedly it gets like 35 to 45 miles to the gallon. I don't know, I'm super excited. Hello everybody, I'm gonna try and explain how I fixed it. But I gave it a little bit of a bath. I polished one headlight. That one's still pretty bad. But let me show you what I did. This car, it got me. So now I know the ignition system. So I replaced the ignition switch. That didn't fix anything. So I started over. I checked every fuse again. Then I checked every relay again. And then I checked the power at every relay in here. And so and I was checking which relays click when you go to the ignition point. So the relay, which does the starter motor, was good. I tested it with voltage. It was clicking. It makes voltage when it clicks. But here's the thing. When I was first probing the fuse panel, I was getting no power for that. But then I stuck the probe in just a little bit more, and I was able to get power. All the other ports, because I checked out all the relays, because now I know which relays also turn on, power when you do the key, because it's not just one relay that turns on. So what I did is, once I discovered that the relay is getting power, but it's not contacting, I discovered that the female port is damaged. I guess, I don't know how it was removed, or that just is damaged, but it's not making contact. So I got a paper clip that's coated. You know, I have coated paper clips, and it's orange, and I ripped off the coating and I made it like a spring and bent the little tips and sprung it, and I just put it in there, and I'll show you. Fuse panel, where this orange wire is where that relay is that's bad. And so I just made a little jumper, and I discovered that that relay is powered off and powers on when the key is in the ignition state. And so I did that. What I might do, instead of using that jumper, is I might solder onto the relay some solder to make it thicker so it'll make contact. But until then, it operates correctly with the key, runs and drives just fine. And so I'm super stoked. When I have time, I will run it one time with a polisher, put a polish, a glaze, and a wax on it, and it'll look good. Clean the wheels, get a block of wood, or I might contact someone who does the paintless dent repair, maybe pay someone, and get that fixed. Aside from that, it's a hilarious little car. I think it needs a tune-up because it's got no power. Oh wait, I'm used to driving cars that are powerful, but I don't know. I'm so excited to go to the beach. You have no idea. I went to Costco and stocked up, and it was amazing. Amazing. All right. There. I learned about Honda Fit. I was able to get the car fixed. What did I have to do for it? Total cost. So I bought the car $1,200. The people towed it to my house for free. I had to buy a special set of needle nose pliers. That was $25. I bought and installed the ignition switch for the ignition, and that did not fix it, but I'm not going to go return that, so that's a $60 loss. I'll post it on Facebook Marketplace. Someone will want one. And then I had to go buy a test light because I didn't own one. And so with the test light, it's like a screwdriver with a light in the middle, and I poked everything until I could figure out what circuits were what, doing what, and what. Much easier to do than with the meter. So there you go. What am I in it? $60, $31, $25, $1,330, I would say, for a run and drive car. Now, that's still a deal, but because the car has expired registration, that's going to be an extra $400 plus I'm going to have to register. That's going to be $800, so it'll be $2,100 for an awesome island beater, beach cruiser. I'm just so excited to have a car that I don't have to worry about sand. You have no idea. Sand just drives me crazy. Or red dirt. Or sometimes parking in places in town. So that's why I kind of miss my truck, but this is easy to park. There you go. More than you needed to know. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, complain, subscribe. Until the next one. Aloha.